Guys, so today I'm going to talk about brushes. What acrylic brushes are best for odorless monomer. So I've done a lot of research online on YouTube, and you cannot find anything really on what brush works best with odorless. I did look in my book from when I went to school to be a nail tech, the Milady, I don't know which edition it is, but it's the latest edition, and the only thing it says is a flat brush is meant for odorless. So I started off with the Young Nails brush. This is the Artistic Sculptor brush, and it's small. That's why I've been using it, because I had this Pana Kolinsky number 12 brush when I was using regular monomer, but it holds too much monomer for the odorless. And as you know, odorless, it's kind of like working with wet beads already, so you don't want extra liquid that this brush gives. But otherwise, this brush is an amazing brush for regular monomer. So this brush has been working okay, but the shape, it's old now and it's kind of getting out of shape as it is. I cut the tip of it and I was ready to order some new brushes. So I looked online for flat brushes, and the only company that sells 100% Kolinsky brushes that are flat for nails is Alpha Brush. So I ordered this number 12 flat brush. I'm going to compare it to the number 12 regular Pana brush size. So it looks like it's pretty much the same width, but just shorter and a flatter belly so that it doesn't hold as much monomer. I haven't removed the packing material out of this yet. I saved it for this video, but I'm just gently removing the packing powder, kind of flicking it. And this, I ordered the number 9 oval Kolinsky brush just to see how it would work with the odorless, because I was ready for a larger brush than this number. I think this is a number 8. It doesn't say, but it looks like it's a number 8. And I wanted to see if it might work for, you know, having the pointed tip will allow us to do designs and things with our acrylic. Whereas it seems like the flat brush is really good for application only. But I'm gonna try it out here in a few minutes and you'll see how they work. All right, so I have my little fake fingers here. I got these on Amazon. It was a 20 pack. I can't remember how much they were, but they were pretty cheap. So I'm gonna put my D&D natural tips on it. I'm gonna prep the nail, and then I'll show you the application. But I did want to mention that I did email Alpha Brush and ask them what the best brush was for odorless monomer. They did say that it depends on your technique and what you like and what you prefer. But she was really quick in responding to my request, and it was just like an hour or less and she responded to me. So they have really good customer service. Okay, so the tips are prepped and I have my monomer. I use Nail Supply Glamour Odorless Monomer. And we're gonna try these new brushes out. So I'm gonna use my Cover Blush Pink powder that I got from my local nail supply store. Okay, so I have my brush prepped. I just took out the packing powder and cleaned it in the monomer. And you always use the brush with the name facing you. When working with odorless, you want to be working with a drier bead. It should look snowy. Kind of like this. Alright, so I'm going in first with my number 9 Oval Kolinsky oval brush. Place my bead, tap the sides, wipe my brush, you let the product go down the nail. And as you see, it's kind of self-leveling. It's already smooth, and you just guide it down the nail by going back and forth with light tapping motions, always cleaning up your sides. Grabbing my second bead, placing it at the tip, patting it so it goes to each side of the tip. Wipe my brush, turning the brush around and feathering the product up. And tapping the sides. And I'm going to lightly smooth out the nail. Placing my next bead a little bit higher than I did that first bead. Tapping to make sure it goes to each side. Clean up the sidewall. Face the nail down so the product can flow downwards. And lightly smooth out the nail. Okay, now I'm going to grab my cuticle bead, which should be a medium to smaller bead, and it should be drier. So I drain out the excess from my brush like that, and then I place the bead a little bit away from the cuticle, wipe my brush, and then I'm going to gently press the bead backwards, leaving a hairline length. Guide the bead to each side, and then just clean up your sidewalls. And guide the bead down, smoothing it out. Lightly brush to smooth out the surface. And with odorless, the benefit is that you have a lot more time to play with the product to get it to the application that you want, which requires less filing in the end. So that's our first nail application. So far I really like this brush. It's a lot better than me using the small 8, and I like the shape, and it's really good. I didn't have any issues with this brush. I'm just going to clean my brush before I put it away. Putting it in the monomer, wiping it off, wipe the brush from side to side, making sure that there's no product left in the brush, and then you shape the brush to your desired shape. And then you put it in the sleeve. I was able to purchase this cap that's specifically for the number 9 brush, which is nice. It was only like 59 cents, so it was worth it. That way I can protect my brush. Now I'm going in with my Alpha Allure number 12 flat brush. Getting my bead, placing it, and lightly tapping it. And patting it from side to side, cleaning up the side walls. Lightly pulling it down. Getting my second bead. I'm going to place it this direction since it is a bigger, wider brush. I don't want it to go over the sidewalls. I'm going to pat it from side to side to make sure the bead goes all the way on each side. Cleaning up the sidewalls, letting the product kind of flow down the nail on its own, but lightly tapping it to guide it down. And then going to gently pull and feather it down, constantly wiping my brush. Lightly patting. So far I really like this brush. Let's see how it does on the cuticle bead. It's a little harder to maneuver around the cuticle. Gently patting it, cleaning the sides. I'm going to lightly feather it down, patting and pressing lightly. As the product dries, you apply a little more pressure if you notice there's any lumps or bumps. Okay, I just need to add a little bit more at the cuticle. pressing it upward. And lightly patting it into place. And there's our application. Again, I'm going to clean my brush before I put it away, wiping it in the monomer and wiping both sides to make sure no product is left on the brush, and put it into the shape that I would like it to be in. So my first impressions of these brushes are they're really good quality. You can tell that a brush is good quality, good Kolinsky if it's darker at the tip. And we've all heard of alpha brushes. We know they're pretty good quality. So basically it's a matter of preference, I think. I really like the way that the flat brush applied the product, because it doesn't add too much liquid when you're placing your beads and working the product. But I also really like the oval because you're able to get more detailed, like around the cuticle. It's the perfect shape, the oval shape, to work that product near the cuticle without touching. Alpha does have different sizes of the flat brush, so I might want to purchase a smaller size for like cuticle work and different things like that. So that's it for today's video. Thank you for watching. I'm going to do a full set on my practice hand using this flat brush in the future, so we can see how that works.